Today on the Appalling Podcast, I sit down with the one and only Jaz Singh, finalist of the BBC smash hit show, The Traitors.
Was the most memorable thing about Traitors for me. There was one big thing which really I can't wait to get into with you.
Wow, what an answer. That, I did not expect that.
And then it was that night where I was like, okay, I need to speak to someone. Where's that psychiatrist? Because now I need her big time.
Wow, that is incredible, man. You don't see that. See, it's so easy for us as the audience to just keep thinking it's a game. But man, when you're on the hot spot, it's all closing in. Oh my God. Again, I used to get sweating just watching people sweat. I was like, oh my God, they got it.
Well, I'm blown away. I'm blown away by the level here. But I
was just about to say, Jaz, let me just confirm, so your family can't contact you either.
Correct.
Yeah, where do I sign up? Would you do it again if you could?
I'd have to.
Usually, I do a bit of a long intro. Yeah, I like to really, talk about my guests, build them up. But I don't think I need to do that with you. Today, I am joined by someone who was basically on a show that had 6.9 million people tune in just to watch the final. A final which had you amongst two other people at the end, which is just incredible. You fought tooth and nail, and you went through so much to get to that point, which, man, I just cannot wait to explore all of it. And in case you haven't watched the show, you can just catch you on the BBC Asian network, which is amazing. So, Jaz Singh, the one and only, it is an absolute pleasure to have you on the Appalling Podcast, brother.
Honestly, what a warm welcome, and what a big intro, my friend. That was sensational.
I tried not to make a big one, but you're just such an amazing guy to have. And I was like, man, I can't believe I'm sitting right here in front of Jaz Singh right now.
Oh my God. I feel honored to be sat in front of Sonny right now. Because what a setup, by the way. Incredible.
Thank you so much.
Feel very welcome.
That means a lot to me, that does, honestly. But Jaz, first of all, before we go into anything else, before we do any of that, we were just talking about this. I honestly feel like I know you because I've watched you in the series, and I just can't get over everything that you went through. It's just mind-boggling. So I just want to say, before we get into everything, let's talk about after. How are you now? Do you still get a bit of like, oh my God, did I go through all of that?
What a great question to start with, to be fair. And you know what? It's been a crazy journey. I'll be completely honest. From even knowing what this game is all about, to putting an application, to getting, being classed as a faithful, and then reaching the final penultimate moment, and then doing a lot of TV and radio, and then, securing my own show, BBC Asian Network. Honestly, Sonny, there's not been one moment, I'll be honest with you, where I've been able to go, yeah, let me just stop and reflect on what's going on and go, wow, it's just been so super fast paced that you don't really take a time to stop and reflect, which is so important in life, I think. Just to appreciate the moment. But like you said, it's opportunities like this where I get to reflect back, and that's why I'm so grateful for it, because we get to sit down, we can delve into certain things that happen, and then it makes you think, oh my God.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought you were going to say, to be honest with you, like, because of everything that you're doing, you're my favorite kind of hustler. Okay, you have an opportunity, you seize it, and then you say, nah, that's not enough. What's next? What's next? I mean, after Traitors, personally, I would take like a 25-year break from life. Do you know what I mean? Because the mental workout that you must have had in that place is just unbelievable. But you didn't. You were like, nah, what's next? And I love that mentality, man. So what made you apply in the first place?
Wow, there's so much to go into there. I mean, yeah. So what made me apply was my father-in-law. I'll be completely honest. Yeah. So weirdly, it was a 2-week consecutive thing. This was so, I went round to my cousin's house to watch Anthony Joshua. He was fighting Usyk at the time, and he invited me round, and they said, "Right, boys, we're going to play a game of Wolf." And I was like, "What's Wolf? What's Wolf?" And he's like, "Oh, Jaz, you're going to love it. Trust me, you're going to love it." There was about 7, 8 of us in the room just before Joshua was about to fight, and we said, "We'll play this game." And I've thought, why are all these grown men shouting and screaming at each other? Like, what kind of ridiculous game is this? There's no cards, there's no boards, there's no dice, there's nothing. All it is words.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is reading people's body language and trying to figure out who the wolf is and who the villagers are. 2 weeks later, my father-in-law says to me, Jaz, have you seen this new show? It's called The Traitors. You need to sit down and you need to watch it with me. And I said, oh, here we go. What, another one of his recommendations. Right, I'm going to have to be the good son-in-law, right? And sit down, and we watched it. Straight away, hooked. We were like, wait a minute. I've literally just played the game with my cousins, but in a different version called Wolf. This is a life-size murder mystery game, but on television. And what? This is amazing. You know what the words he said straight away? You better apply for the next show. And I said, Dad, how do we know that there's even going to be a series 2? They might just leave it at that.
Wow.
And it might just be, he goes, listen to me. I know you. They'll want to see you and they'll want to speak to you.
I like that.
And I said, oh, Dad, whatever. But all right, we'll see what happens. Another 2 weeks later, Sonny, I swear this is the maddest thing. I'm working from home. Popped up on my phone, an Instagram advert on one of the, and it said, Series 2 of The Traitors applications are now open.
Nah.
And they're looking for Mancunians. And I was like, you know what? This could be that sign. I'm not going to waste any time here. My father-in-law said apply. I'm going to stick to that and I'm going to put my application in. There were over more than 100,000 applications that went through. I remember submitting a selfie video right at the end of it. They go down to everything. They know more. They know me more than I know myself with the type of questions that they ask you in the application. Imagine. And then 2 weeks later, get an email back saying, Jaz, we want to speak to you. And I was in bed at the time, looked at it, and I thought, that's not going anywhere. Put the phone back down. And then I was like, shall I speak to them? Shall I not? And then I thought, you know what? Just speak to him and see what happens.
Wow. I mean, first of all, we owe it all to your father-in-law. Thank you, Uncle D, man. Without him, man, this won't be happening right now. That's amazing. But he must have seen something. Perhaps it was in the game of Wolf, or he must have seen that, you know what, Jaz can do this. Because I'm constantly telling my wife to go in the 1% club. Yeah. She is amazing at that game.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. So for people that are listening, Aman's not here today. Yeah. So we got my wife Raj is in the house. Shout out to Raj. First of all. So I always say, who wants to be a millionaire? I love challenging myself. Yeah. And I'm always there. She hates those games. She always says, son, general knowledge, I don't want to know. Yeah. I'm like, fair enough. 1% came on this game. And I was like, oh, this is good. Raj, what do you think the answer? I couldn't get any of them. She got all the way to the end. Oh. And even that one, she gave her a good crack. And I was like, I think I need to apply for you. You need to bring home some money. So what I want to get into is the psychology of the Traitors. Yeah. Now, you've done it. You've done the show. The reason I wanted to ask you this question, because myself, I had a little experience. The first time my mom taught me chess, okay? She taught me chess, but she taught me the proper way. It wasn't to be fun. Yeah. She was trying to teach me a lesson. Right. And she was like, look, Sonny, don't just put this there for any reason. Why do you want to put it there? And what can happen if you put it there? Think 2 to 3 moves ahead. And it stuck with me. And I remember that whole week after that, playing that game, I was very with my movement in life. Wow. I was like, I wasn't young, I wasn't old, I was like a teenager. Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, wow, this is such a great game for strategy and you can implement this. And now you've played the ultimate game of betrayal and deception and, strategy. Has that helped you with general day-to-day life, knowing that I can get this far in a game like that?
Again, some fire questions here. With a game like Traitors, you can't necessarily plan. 1 step ahead, 2 step ahead, 3 step ahead, because it is so unpredictable that you have to not only think on your feet 24/7, you have to be working so hard on trying to get as far as possible, whatever that means, whatever that means necessary. All you can do is figure out, right, 1 step forwards. That's all you can think about. For me, it took obviously 9 months to apply on for that show for me to explain to them, look, I'm going to be the best traitor that you will ever have experienced. You know, I want to be in control of the game.
Mhm.
And as a traitor, you are. Secondly, I don't like getting lied to. And as a traitor, you know, you're not getting lied to because you know everything.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, it's the best thing to do is to be a traitor. I want full control over
Yeah.
the game. So I'm thinking in my head, when I'm at that table and I've got the blindfold on, I'm thinking, you know what face shall I pull for when the cameras are on me, when Claudia taps me on the shoulder?
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm already thinking about that, thinking, yeah, I'm going to go.
You already accepted it, haven't you? Yeah.
Already. Goes round. She goes round. I'm thinking, does she know I'm sat here? Like, is she aware?
Did she not get the memo?
I don't think she's got the memo. Like, for 9 months I've been telling them.
Yeah.
Like, and they've been giving me a few signals. Yeah, Jaz, you're really the traitor.
Yeah.
And then she goes, take off your blindfolds.
Oh.
At that moment, son, I'm not even lying to you, I actually wanted to go home because I thought I'm not, it's a bit of a beastie. It's a bit embarrassing that you've told certain select members of family and you might be going away and then you're back tomorrow because, you know, your time's cut short because the traitors thought, you know what, we're deciding to get Jaz out tonight, you know, random selection.
And it's that easy.
And you're gone out of the game after 9 months of building up this massive thing in your head psychologically. So you can't really plan for that. So that was a quick moment of reality check to go, whoa, 1 minute. You are a faithful now. There's, whether you like it or not, the traitors are amongst you, whether you like it or not. What do you do? Are you going to sink or are you going to swim?
Wow.
And then it was a moment of, you know what, be grateful that you've been given this opportunity. There's so many other people that haven't. Be an effective faithful, work hard, listen to every single conversation, use your peripheral vision, absorb information, read people. And that slowly I started to, you know, work out how to play the game. But you just got, I base it on life, which is a question maybe I'll answer later on what was the most memorable thing about Traitors for me. There was one big thing, which really I can't wait to get into with you.
Well, what you said there, you said something as well. I can't remember if it was on the show or if you'd said it in an interview afterwards, but you said that I really wanted to be a traitor, but I needed to be a faithful. And when you said that, I was like, oh my God, like so many people you look at and you think, wow, great traitors. Like Harry, great traitor. Yep. I always think like, yeah, you know, you played that role well. You deserved that. You absolutely executed brilliantly. Then you get really good faithfuls. And I always feel like Fire and Ice, like, oh my God, this traitor's met his match. And that's how I felt with you. You were so composed. That's another question I wanted to ask you. How did you, so you didn't know you were going to be a faithful, you didn't know you were going to be a traitor, and you had accepted being a traitor.
With difficulty.
And then so when you're in it, you're obviously trying to get your head in the right place. Yeah. But how did you keep yourself composed? Because people break down. Big time. And there was some contestants that had epic fails. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? On the round table, there was one lad, bless him, I seen, and like, you know, they can't take it. But how did you, I mean, one round table, I think it might have been your first one. You just refused to answer the question. You remember? And
so you did on your homework.
Yeah.
Oh my.
You just went, you just looked and you were like, no, and someone called you out and said, no, Jaz, have you got anything to say about that? And you're like, no, not at this moment. I'm all right, thanks.
Yeah.
Because you were so confident, like, well, I know I'm a faithful. And nothing I can say really is going to be detrimental to changing my mind.
So, what
was going through your mind at that point?
Well, I'm blown away. I'm blown away by the level here. But let's go to that. Needed to being faithful. Yeah. I mean, that was a moment that I realized afterwards, you know, that people think that you want something in life and you just, you know, you're going to chase it and that's the plan. And then something in life happens and then you realize, no, that wasn't what was meant to be. You have to believe in what was written for you. And as soon as you accept that, believe me, you're onto great things. And that was a quick reality check for me when I realized, you know what, it was Gisma. It was very much me being a faithful, getting to the end as I did. And becoming, you know, Jonathan Christie kind of thing and, you know, being this detective. But when it came to just going back to what you were saying about
your composure.
Yeah.
How do you maintain that composure?
Yeah.
And then not only that, it's a case of the confidence that you had to not even answer a question straight away. Do you know what I mean? That's like such a cocky faithful.
Honest, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I'm thinking, how the hell did he do that? It's madness, because what I've tried to, all the things I was doing before going into that castle was very much, right, listen, people are going to be at you 24/7. Try and put yourself in their shoes, you know, try and understand their perspective.
Okay.
Because as soon as you do that, you start to understand, and you may be able to reason with them. You may be able to calm them down, and then you might be able to convince them that you're something that you're not. Because I was going in with a traitor plan, but this was slightly easier now, because I thought, well, I've got nothing to hide, so I am a faithful. And the way I was staying cool, calm, and collected majority of the time was, we had a psychiatrist, that was on hand at our disposal. They take well-being very seriously.
That's beautiful to know. That is, yeah.
Oh, it's massively important for the production company that they produced the Traitors, and the psychiatrist actually said to me, right, if they do get you on the show, just a piece of advice, but try and remember why you're doing it, and try and remember who you're doing it for. If you need to, well, you don't have to, but write little post-it notes in your cabins or wherever you're going to be staying, and put it on your wall. So I'm waking up every single day going, I'm doing it for my wife, I'm doing it for my mum, and I'm doing it for my father-in-law, and I'm doing it for my mother-in-law. They're the 4 people that I'm doing this for. So every time I'm in a moment of madness, I just have to think of that and go, you know what, it's cool. It just relaxes it.
Wow.
Relax yourself.
That is what you were doing. Wow. That is powerful. Great advice for your psychologist as well.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think people listening can take that away as well for general day-to-day life as well.
Yeah.
If at any point you're struggling, remember your why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's funny when you say that one, that brings me back so much. It's a bit scary. I get shivers.
Really?
I'm remembering the room is on me. Early days, we got every single contestant, I think, in the room, or a lot of them.
I think so, yeah.
And they go on, Jaz, so do you want to respond to that? I'm not wasting my time on a traitor. So I just jump job, don't say a word. And I'm thinking to myself,
that's such a boss move.
Where am I? I swear, when I did that, at the moment, at that moment, I'm thinking, you smashed it, bro. And then afterwards, it was a chaos. I was thinking, what have I just done?
Lit the fuse.
All these people coming up to me saying, John, we know you, we haven't got any reservation of you being traitor, but bro, not responding like that.
Yeah.
People going to think, all sorts. I'm like, I should have said something.
What did I do?
When I watch it back, I'm thinking, big move that.
Yeah, it was. You know what? There's got to be a meme out there somewhere on the internet of you, when they have that, when it freezes and the glasses come on. And I thought, man, when I saw that, like when I first watched it, I didn't know anything about you. Do you know what I mean? Just me being me. If people watch the show, they know, man, if you're up on man, for me, that's it. Jaz has got to win. I don't know anything about you. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like, come on, man, you can do this. Represent, bro. Let's go. When you did that, I was like, Lelo. I was like, Jaz, what are you doing, man? You know what I mean? Say something. Then afterwards, I was like, nah, boss move. He knew what he was doing. Absolutely. I can't wait. So I've got to find out, what was this memorable moment?
Oh, wolf. D1, to be fair, Sonny.
Okay.
D1 this. So obviously 2/3 into the process, and they sit me down in the chair, camera looking at you, and the speaker, whatever it is. So Jaz, what's you've got to final 5. How do you feel? Like, what's been your most memorable moment? This and the other. I was like, you know what? I'll be completely honest. That Traitors is just like life. It's so similar to life. It is scary because, as a faithful, I'm waking up in the morning every single day, luckily, thankfully, to go, oh my God, I've made it to breakfast. So the cameras are, the cameras aren't watching you at this moment because you've just realized that you've made it to breakfast. You don't know. You don't know what's happening and when. All you are being told, right, you're heading in that door and that's where breakfast is. So okay, I've got to breakfast. So I'm jumping 6 feet in the air going, yes, I've made it to breakfast. Wicked. I get one more day in here. You know, I don't know when it's going to be cut short. Yeah, granted, there's money to be made.
Yeah.
There's a cash prize at the end of it. There's lights, there's camera, there's action. There's all of that business. But then I thought to myself, 2/3 into that game, get into that final 5. And I'm thinking to myself, hey a minute, why are we not like this in daily life?
Yeah.
Why do we not wake up in the morning and be buzzing the fact that we've got to breakfast? Because some people don't even get that chance in life. Some people don't wake up. Some people don't have that ability to just make that day whatever they want to make it. And then it just dawned on me right there and then. I just thought to myself, wow, this has a lasting impact, this game does, because you start to look at life completely differently. Because okay, I'm trying to chase that money. I'm trying to catch the traitors. I know there's cameras and I'm going to be on TV. Family's going to be proud. I know all of that. But take all of that away. It's the same principle if you weren't even in there.
Wow, what an answer. That I did not expect that. I mean, yes, it's life, isn't it? I mean, and it should be, is what you're saying. You should be playing life like you are in the Traitors.
100%.
Yeah, make the most of every single moment and get to that breakfast table and be happy that you're there. 100%. Oh, wow. What an answer, man. I don't blame you. What a memorable moment that is. And the breakfast table, that was I used to get anxiety in 2 parts of that show. Is always the breakfast table, like who's going to come through the door when they say come in, who's going to come jumping in, and then the other way was obviously the round table, man. The round table, like, what is it like walking? You know, you're in a line and you're walking towards the round table and okay, it's about to go down. Like, how did you psych yourself up for verbal warfare?
Oh, the first 2-3 round tables, the scariest things.
Oh, really? So you got used to it after a while?
I would say afterwards, I was starting to. It was a weird moment because I think it was sort of 2-3 episodes in or 2-3 round tables in. I was really nervous, thinking, there's no one that's going to back you here. Everyone's in it for themselves.
Yeah.
And you're just going to have to use your mouth to do everything for you. So, and plus you're up against some big personalities, some people that are a bit introvert, extrovert, the mix of everything. You can't predict this. You really can't. So you're going into a lot of uncertainty, knowing that your time could be cut short. And then I remember going in sort of like, I think it was a 2nd or 3rd round table, and I was gutted because there were shields that people have won. And I said to myself, they've got the I'm in that chair when they're talking. I'm talking at the camera and I'm fuming. I'm like, they've got a shield. They've got that. I'm gone now. I'm going. There's no point me even going into that round table because I know they're all looking at me funny. They're going to come for me. And then the person that was there that said, Jaz, what did he say? He goes, what star sign are you again? And I said, I'm a Libra.
Yeah.
I'm all about balance.
Balance, yeah.
And he goes, right. So just to let you know, those people that have the shields, you know how this game works. You know that they can also be banished at that round table. And then all of a sudden it started to make me think, wait a minute, that doesn't mean that they're out of the game, or they're protected. At that round table, it's a free-for-all.
Yeah,
anyone's going, no one's safe. And then I just thought, you know what, 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐿, just turn up and, just go out there and smash it somehow. And then I survived that one, survived another one. And as soon as I was thinking, maybe it's the horrific feeling going into that round table. No one can really predict or, show you this is what to expect. It's horrible. I can't even explain to you. It's like going into court. And, you've got the judge that's just looking at you thinking, I don't believe a word that you're saying. And neither does the jury. You are going into a courtroom. And then it was a case of them saying, they said to me, Jaz, so how are you finding these round tables? And then there was one moment I said, you know what? I wanted to be a barrister when I was younger. So this is allowing me to get my barrister cap on and scrutinise people, cross-examine them, get them chopped out the game.
And Jaz, did you ever, man? You know what I mean? You would come out with some clangers, and you know, there's some people, they can't contain themselves on the show. So they're already telling half the people that they're going to say this at the time. You kept your cards so close to your chest, and you'd always go against the grain. You'd always vote a random person.
Yeah.
And they would say, and I used to love watching some of the reactions of people's facial expressions.
Yeah.
And when it was your turn, and Claudia would say, and Jazz, who are you voting? And you'd be like, and randomly, and everyone would look, and everyone would be like scratching their head, going, why is he voted for? So you just kept everybody guessing. And then what I loved to hear from the opponent's perspective was Harry's, when you're in that chair and they're having like their own little interview thing.
Yeah.
He goes, I didn't realize how dangerous of a player Jazz was. Yeah. When he said that, and I was like, Harry's probably the most dangerous traitor in this series.
100.
And for him to then say, Jazz, I'm certainly concerned about him. And then when you had him at the round table, there was one moment, for those that haven't seen it, oh my God, it was in the middle of the season somewhere. And then you said, oh, you didn't even bring it up in the beginning. Everyone's had a good old chat. And then you were like, oh yeah, also. And he's just like, yeah. And you're so nonchalant, it's okay. You're like, you said something to Paul about me. Did you say that? You trapped him. He took the bait. And then you were like, how did that? And then you just cornered him. And you could see, and he said in his little private interview that I was trying my best to not have my handshake. He said he was that, concerned. And I was thinking to myself, Jazz, you played this well. And I was so sure you were going to win. I just generally thought Jazz is too clued on for these guys. And like sometimes it makes me wonder a little bit. I was like, does Jazz know? Like, have you, I don't know, someone let it slip that, who the truth is? Because you were like a dog with a bone with Paul. You would not let him go. You were like, nah, Paul. And he would make me laugh. Like, he shook his hand and said, yeah, we'll draw a line under it. Or it's all good. I'm your friend now. And then next round table, it's Paul. And I was like, yes, Jazz. He's a treacherous faithful. But man, like, that is incredible, man, Jazz. Well done. That's what I'll say. You smashed that game, man. Because Traitors is not like your generic game.
No.
You haven't got no influence of outside audience voting.
Yep.
They have nothing to do with it. There's not a lot of pot luck involved. It's everything is down to you, the way you portray yourself. And people think the murders are random, but you got to understand, they're not just murdering randomly. They're murdering based on, what will be beneficial to them.
Correct.
Based on what you've given them. And what you've shown. So it is all on you.
Yeah.
And what you put out there is basically decides your fate. What a game, man. Would you do it again if you could?
I'd have to.
Yeah.
I'd have to.
And if you did, what would you do differently, Jazz?
What would I do differently?
I mean, I want to see Jazz at the Christie on the celebrity version next. I'll be honest with you, man. Wow. That would be amazing, man.
Just imagine. It's one of them. When you've done something once and you've had such an amazing, memorable, that moment, that experience is so, I could cherish it so much. And I'm thinking, wow, that was amazing. Obviously, when you've done something once, would it be the same again? Yeah. You always question yourself that, and you think, well, is it going to be better? I know in my luck, I'd end up flipping, going out day one, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? You should have just kept it there. You're on it. You peaked.
Yeah,
that's it. But I don't know. Maybe the celebrities might be a shout.
Yeah, man. I can see because
I'm a Z-lister at the moment. So.
Yeah, but I'll tell you why. Because it's not just being on the show. It's playing the show and then excelling at the show, and you really did that, man. I mean, I remember Claudia when you were voted off, she said you've been an absolutely amazing player. She said that as well, and we walked out. I was like, yeah, damn right he has, man. He's been through hell, John. Somebody get him a chair. That's so tense. It's man,
painful ending.
How is it when you meet the others outside?
Molly's always apologising, saying she owes me £47,000. So I'm still waiting for that. Giving Harry my bank details. Yeah, still waiting.
Still waiting for that.
Nothing comes through. So no, we've got a WhatsApp group.
Oh, that's nice.
And they were a good bunch. They were genuinely a very good bunch of contestants to share that experience with. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It's and when you go into something like that, in the moment that we did it in, that series 2 is almost like that sweet spot where they had their trial. Yeah. Let's see what this show can do and what it's about.
Yeah.
I think series 2, there was a reason why we won the NTAs. There was a reason why it was BAFTA nominated. It was that series 2, the contestants, everything. I feel as though it was on point. Just the Just the outcome wasn't on point, was it?
But then again, I would say you did win, Jaz. Do you know what I mean? Because what you took away from there is like you said, you realized that, man, I can play life like this. I can be grateful. Secondly, you showed everyone that, man, don't mess with Jaz. Jaz will figure some shit out. You know what I mean? So that as well, like you learned, I can tell you probably learned so much about yourself as well.
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
So much.
I mean, pressure as well, how to excel under pressure. You won't know until you're under pressure. And you are so calm and so relaxed under pressure. That's something that's a superpower unlocked, I think, from the Traitors alone.
Emotional intelligence is one of the things that I think, people need to go in that game. Emotional intelligence is a big thing that's not even really spoken about much, really.
Yeah.
But having that know-how about understanding how people are feeling is critical.
It's critical, yeah. What about mental health? As in, you said you had a psychologist on the show, and he's looking after your well-being and everything. But was you concerned about yourself at any point? Was at any point did you think, oh, hang on a second, I'm getting stressed here. Like, I need to be careful.
I think it was the night between me and Paul.
Really?
Yeah. That was a really tough night because in my head, going into a round table, it was very much let's observe, see what the accusations are, and then when you're ready to come in, you come in.
Yeah.
Everyone was gunning for him.
Yeah.
Everyone was gunning for him. And I thought to myself, you know what, Jaz, your strategy of what you do at round tables, can throw that out the window. This guy's a goner.
Yeah.
Trust me, this guy's a goner. And then out of nowhere, one of my closest friends in that whole place, Ross.
Yeah.
He was my boy in there. He was like my bro. He just switched the whole round table. He goes, no, I can't take it anymore. I've seen Paul struggle.
Yeah.
But the one person that's definitely been moving mad is you, Jaz. And it was like my own bro has just fully switched everything around. And all of a sudden I was on the defense mode. And I thought, you know what, that strategy that you threw out the window, you should have kept it.
Yeah.
And because it's going to benefit you now, because the round table was not over. And that's when the room was bang, bang, bang. Every single one, I'm telling you, was going for me.
Yeah, we saw.
It was genuinely like thinking to myself, okay, the room is caving in and everything's going darker and darker and smaller and smaller and smaller. And there's a point where you just go, you know what, I accept defeat. Like, there's nothing that you can say now that's going to convince everyone. There was a moment in that round table, he's whispering and I kick off with him like, if you want to say something, Paul, say it louder. Say something to me. And he's just like, oh, you're just lying, Charles, you're just lying. I was like, I'm clearly not lying. I'm saying everything. And then I said, you, Molly, and you, Evie, you're in the truck, you're in the Land Rover with me.
You're quiet here.
Yeah. And I said, how can we not? And then the whole room exploded again. They were like, oh, that's a deflection. Jaz, you are such a traitor. You this, you that, and all this. And then eventually, even though I said that, they say, oh, it's not being good, it's not very good, being put on the spot like that. But yeah, Paul. And then they slowly started to say his name again. And then I'm thinking to myself, even though they're killing me off, it's worked. Yeah. Because they are actually, bringing his name back on him again.
Because that could have gone easily on you.
Sonny, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It went bang, 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 bang. And as I'm going through in my head, I'm thinking, right, you are gone. Clearly, there's no convincing anyone. When you stand up there, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Because you see all that, I'm really grateful for this experience. You've been great. I was ready to lose it and go, you're all boggle. Yeah. What's going on? But genuinely, I thought to myself, I like fishing, right?
Yeah. Oh, really?
I'm a fisherman. I'm probably the only Indian fisherman out there. And, when you cast like a reel, you cast your rod and bait gets really far. My head was like that bit, I've casted it so far into the sea thinking, right, you're going to have to get back to work. You're going to have to turn those annual emails off, those auto replies. You're going to have to get back to normal life. Oh, you have to cut the grass. You're gonna have to you have to do the ration. You're gonna have to do the shopping and this, and you're gonna have to. I was so far gone thinking about what I'm gonna do when I return back to normal life, and then when they said that he's going and I'm staying, and the chair got broke. I lobbed the chair out the way.
Yeah, you did.
I was screaming, when I told you, and all of this.
What did I say? You said that, yeah.
All of that. And then it was that night where I was like, okay, I need to speak to someone. Where's that psychiatrist? Because now I need her big time.
Wow. That is incredible, man. You don't see that. See, it's so easy for us as the audience to just keep thinking it's a game.
Yeah.
But man, when you're on the hot spot, it's all closing in. Oh my God. Again, I used to get sweating just watching people sweat. And I was like, oh my God, they got it. But then after a moment, it's a game. And also, it's nothing to do with you. Just chill out. But it's such a beautiful show. I'll be honest. An amazing show.
The crying and the tears, I would watch it, that series one. And I'd say, what are they crying for?
Yeah.
What are they crying for? Until you're in there and until you're in those shoes. I mean, I said it to my father-in-law. I said, Dad, people cry on that, don't they? And he goes, yeah, you're going to be like that, crying. I want to come home. And then I was thinking to myself, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
And then when you're in there, boy, was I close to crying.
Really?
Oh my God.
Wow. That's incredible.
And it's like, how can it get to that? Everything's heightened to a different level. I mean, I suppose it was even when you're without your family, that anything can set you off.
Yeah.
If you love your family, that is.
So you can't have any communication with anyone. Yeah. That's incredible.
We don't know what's going on
the outside world. Yeah.
There's a full 3.5, 4 week period.
Yeah.
Of just pure. It's like, to be fair, that was therapeutic. Not having your phone.
I was just about to say, Jaz, let me just confirm. So your family can't contact you either.
Correct.
Yeah. Where do I sign up? So no worries about the kids, bills, nothing.
You've got one person from welfare that said, "Oh, yeah, they're okay."
Yeah.
That is it.
That's amazing. I'm gonna say, can I be on the Traitors and I'll just be like helping the set? After the round table, I'll just tuck the chairs in. Do you know what I mean? As long as I can chill there for a bit. That's amazing. What about challenges? This is one that I always think about. Like, I noticed a few people. There was a contestant on your series called Miles, I believe.
Miles, yeah.
Miles, at one point, there was a challenge where you had spotlights and you guys had to like dig and get stuff out. Something like that was going. I can't remember. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
And he, instead of getting in, running around, trying to avoid the spotlights, he stood and just gave orders.
Wow.
And he was like, do this and watch out. And then at one point, I think it was Paul or someone, it might have been yourselves too, and go, now we're good. How about you get involved?
Yeah. And
I remember seeing that. And I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, wow, like forget the mental aspect of this. There's a physical like element to this as well.
Massive.
Did you struggle on any of them that you thought, I can't do this? Or was you scared of any of them?
It's crazy. I feel like, Sonny, you were there with us, to be honestly, I remember that. I'm thinking to myself, Miles, you're isolating yourself from the group here, because this requires like a collective effort from everyone.
Yeah.
No matter how old you are, you've been given a task, pulled together as a team, and you're not elderly, or you don't have a certain issue that's preventing you from getting involved. So for me, I thought, what, respect it. If you want to do your thing, that's you.
Yeah.
You make your bed and you lie in it, kind of thing. And I remember a lot of the traitors and a lot of people going mad at him just because he wasn't getting involved. For me, the missions were like a respite from the game. I was able to just switch off the whole detective mode and think, you know what, you don't need to be this detective on the missions.
Yeah.
This is your break from the game. That's how I was thinking about it, because I thought, you don't need to keep listening to all these different conversations. You don't need to be watching everybody. All you're doing is focusing on trying to build that cash prize.
Yeah.
You get a bit of a sweat on because you're not going gym.
Yeah.
And then just for me, it was one of them. It was a bit of an endorphin.
Nice.
Release.
That's a great way to look at it. Actually, it's like break time, basically.
Yeah, break time.
Yeah. Class is not going on now.
Yeah,
just
100%.
chill out.
Just chill.
Here's the one. I just remembered this, and I wanted to ask you. Ash was on the show. I'm not sure what was Ash's background. okay? But I was always thinking to myself, if she was Punjabi, was you ever tempted to find out, or was you ever tempted to be like, hang on, we can talk and no one understand what we say here?
You know what? What a good question, to be fair.
And is that against the rules?
I mean, if anyone did that, I feel as though straight away you're isolating yourself out of the game.
Yes.
Straight away. It's
a big red flag, isn't it?
Yeah. If you're just doing that,
yeah,
using, a different language.
Yeah.
Punjabi, Urdu.
Yeah.
It's, everyone's just going to look at that and go,
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's one that bugs me and Raj, okay? And we want to ask all of the contestants from season 2, okay? How did you guys miss the fact that Ross and Diane were mother and son? They look exactly the same.
Oh my God, that was so weird.
Mad is that?
What's even weirder is that you've got Zach.
Yeah.
With the 𝐬𝐻𝐾 on.
Yeah.
And he goes, I think there's a mother and son here.
And it's Paul.
Yeah.
That
was what he's very smart guy, by the way. Zach is very switched on, and if it wasn't for him, I don't think we would have been able to get to where we got to. He was very good at those round tables. And when it came to them two, I was thinking to myself, because he would do impressions, Ross would, of her Irish accent.
Yes.
And he would do it, and it'd all crack us up, it'd all laugh. And then, when he got banished, in my head, I'm thinking, glad I got you out, because you turned on me. Remember?
Yeah.
And then he stands up there and he goes, oh, but I'm just going to leave you with an Easter egg. And in my head, I'm thinking, huh? He's talking about chocolate. What?
He's got to win the scammers.
He goes, so what's he about to say? He goes, oh, there's a reason why I could do her accent so well. It's because she's my mom. Then, when he dropped that line, I'm thinking to myself, no, he's lying.
Yeah.
He's just trying to ruffle some feathers because we got him out.
Yeah.
And he's trying to put us off our game.
Yeah.
So in my head, I was like, what a daft distraction that is. He's clearly, that's not them, not mother. And it wasn't until we're in the WhatsApp group, all together as a big, massive family. And he's going, oh, Mom, do you remember this? Only when I read the word mum, that's when the penny dropped for me, because I still didn't believe it.
You still refuse to believe it?
I still refuse to believe it.
Jaz is still playing the game.
I was thinking to myself, what? They are brother and son. What?
That's incredible.
And then, I said to him, what are you doing?
That's mad.
Yeah, it blows your mind. With the secret relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it interesting for the viewers.
Yeah.
As a contestant, I'm thinking to myself, how cheeky that you can get 2 chances to get that money.
They're teaming up on each other.
That is unbelievable.
It's as long as, it would be rotten if they were both traitors.
Oh,
could you imagine? Do you know what I mean? Or the move would be to become a traitor and recruit your.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That would be the move.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine, you're not going to betray each other, so you can just go right to the end, couldn't you?
I think that's what the producers will want. I reckon. They will want a secret, because the secret relationships were a thing from series 1.
Yeah.
So they'll probably want, faithfuls have won, traitors have won.
Yeah.
What's next to win?
Yeah.
Probably a secret relationship.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. That would be. Yeah, because you'd want to root for them, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You want that secret. You find yourself rooting for traitors.
Yeah.
It's strange.
It's the villains we all love to hate, kind of thing.
Yeah. There's a crazy thing there, as in, I don't know how it works. I don't know what it is at some point when the traitors are just going after each other.
Yeah.
And there's just savagery, they're just backstabbing, betraying each other.
Right. Yeah.
And when you're looking and you're back and forth, and then your own brain is fried.
Yeah.
Because you're oh man, I was rooting for you guys as traitors to win.
Yeah.
And now I'm man, I hope you all lose. I hope faithfuls win. And you're just going back and forth constantly.
All the time.
It's mad, honestly.
The time. It's crazy. It's so weird watching it.
Oh, wow.
That's the mad, to be in thinking, what is going on? How?
Yeah.
It's just weird. Really.
When you watched it, did you get imposter syndrome a little bit?
I feel like there's a little part of my soul still in that castle.
Really?
Honestly.
Whoa.
It is that crazy that it consumes you so much that I threw myself in that whole experience. That feel as though there's a part of me still in there somewhere. Yeah. And, I do think to myself, it would be so weird to go back don't know what I would do.
I would imagine, do you feel a little bit strange seeing new series
Yeah.
after series?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that I was there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's my sync.
For this series,
Yeah.
series
4, yeah.
series 4 just gone. Obviously, as I've said, I'm a fisherman. There's a fish, a carp, that as soon as you walk into the castle on the left,
Okay.
on the shelf. So this was the first series that I was like, hey, they've moved my fish. Really much here. Why have they got rid of the fish?
No way.
I know everything about that castle.
Wow.
Every little detail. I was looking at pictures, the books, I was in my head. I was like a computer that was just absorbing everything.
From breakfast table till the chimes in the evening,
Yeah,
you're confined to the castle. Is that right?
yeah.
So you're not leaving. Nothing. There's no like, oh, you can go back to your cabin for a couple of hours, have a kip. Really?
You are essentially that is you. And the castle's obviously huge.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a crazy place.
That's got to be so hard to just downtime, kill time, and also stay switched on. And at any point, do you realize the cameras are not there anymore?
I don't know. I think you forget.
Yeah.
You know what?
Okay.
2-3 days in, you're thinking to yourself, "Oh my god, I'm mic'd up. When I go to the toilet, they're gonna hear me go to the toilet." You know, you're thinking all sorts. Day 3, day 4, the game is that stressful. You don't care if there's a camera here.
Wow.
You're just like, oh, forget you. I just need to get on the game.
Yeah.
You know, the cameras aren't even a thing after that amount of time.
A big thing for me is like, man, you're on a high. You've just come off the Traitors, and based on how far in you go, it's a win. The way I look at it, do you know what I mean? How far you get, it's a win, depending on how you look at it, and you definitely come out a winner, man. You know what I mean? Jaz Singh is going to stay with you for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if there's ever like an opportunity for an Indian Sherlock Holmes movie,
I'm there.
Yeah, you're there, man. You're number one. So like, what is life like after Traitors? How did it all?
Yeah.
Just got out the castle. I imagine it's all paparazzi, snap. And then what did you do after that? What was the next step?
Just one mental experience. It was, I mean, even just turning that phone on and getting the notifications popping off, and then I only had 5, and I'm thinking, did anyone miss me or what? It was one of those moments where the final, when that aired, and we filmed Uncloaked, which was obviously the after show. It was just a moment of celebration first. So there was a room of us that we were all in, all the production, all the contestants, Claudia, people in audio, production, and agents. And
wow.
There was just a big room, and I was lucky enough to take more of my missus to that. And, the drinks are flowing and everyone's having an amazing time, and just, very just congratulating the whole thing, because clearly we were getting the numbers. I think it reached about 8 to 9 mil towards the end.
Wow.
Just for that moment, which hadn't even happened, in television for a long time. So it was a phenomenon. And then as soon as obviously we're leaving that, they tell me, okay, Jaz, tomorrow morning you're on BBC News, BBC Global News at 9 a.m. So just make sure you're ready for that. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, am I obligated to do this? Do I say yes or no? Or they said, yeah, well, it's up to you. Obviously, you don't have to, but we have secured you this slot. It's up to you. You're going to be with Harry and Molly. I was like, okay, I'll do it. So after that night, people are going off, partying, this and the other. I thought, you better get yourself to bed so you don't know rough in the morning, because you're going to be on BBC News that are live. And then I'm thinking to myself, right, okay, did that. And then they say to me, oh, okay, so Loose Women are interested now. They want you to go on to talk about your family personal story. We know it's a personal situation, but would you like to? We'll guide you, make sure you're looked after properly, secure all the well-being side of things, and make sure that there's no, surprises. I said, wow, Loose Women. I mean, that's obviously such a massive platform.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Went on to Loose Women. And then ITV this morning, they said, Jaz has admitted he doesn't know who Agatha Christie is. We'll take him on a journey and we'll film a VT as him as the lead broadcaster, as to go and discover more about this queen of crime, Agatha Christie.
Wow.
So they sent me to Torquay, filming me to figure out more about her, to feature as a segment in one of their shows. And, you know, the PR team are thinking, oh, they're just normalizing it. Like, oh, Jaz can, you know, it's just a VT. Well done. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, this is ITV This Morning, isn't it? Okay. Just say, yeah. By the way, on the way to film that, I'm meeting Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man,
Whoa.
the guy from Social Network, who's approaching me at the station going, Jaz, you smashed that. I can go into that story in a minute because it'll distract me and I'll go off on a tangent, but we exchange numbers and everything.
Put a pin in that one. I want to come back to that one.
We're filming ITV This Morning and then BBC Morning Live, and then you go on BBC Manchester, and I'm just saying yes to all of these things. And then I'm sitting down with my father-in-law and it's like, what did I think? You were always in the wrong field. And I said, Dad, what do you mean? Like I was always in the wrong field? He goes, yeah, you're earning okay money, but you've clearly got more to give. Just trust me on this, you know, just give it a bit of time. And I said to myself, oh, we'll just see where it goes.
Yeah. And
that is where the special moment of BBC Asia Network came in. And, you know, the boss of Asia Network brought me in London. And I've done all a bit of TV presenting now. I've done a few bits here and there, some brand deals that came through. And he goes, look, listen, I've been seeing and watching all the stuff that you've been doing. And I think you've got something for us. You know, we've got a motivation slot. It's a pre-recorded show. Would you be interested? I said, 100%. You know, coming off that show, I was considered, you know, very trustworthy and all of that, and my family story and resilience. So it tied in very nicely into like the broadcasting and presenting space. So I said to him, yeah, 100%. That went really well, to the point where they extended the 13 shows to 19 shows. It was a first for BBC Asia Network.
Wow.
And then I was so super grateful that I got to carry on doing that alongside doing more TV work. Juggling my work, I was in this mode of, right, I've used up all my annual leave. I don't want to keep messing work around. I have to somehow, you know, say, pick one thing.
Yeah.
What's going to be sustainable? And all of these questions are very difficult to answer. So you just ride through it. And then from BBC Asia Network, from the motivation, I ended up doing some live for them, which was going into the studio and doing actual live radio. So I was depping for them over a weekend. And I was thinking to myself, I've never touched anything like this before. Like, what is going on? But I'm going to just see what happens. Just say yes and just smash it. Make sure you work hard.
Nice.
And the results will come. And then from there was actually, he said to me, look, you're doing well. You're good at this, aren't you? I was like, I'm enjoying it. He goes, well, we've got a show called The Everyday Hustle. It's the, you know, the ex-apprentice winner. She was...
Sonia Barlow used to do it, I think.
Yeah. I think it was 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐿.
𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐿, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So Oh So Young, she was doing
it.
Yeah. And so she was doing it at the time. And he said to me, look, if you want to do it, you know, it's more of a conversation. It's getting, you know, people on board and, you know, essentially you're having that conversation. I said, 100%, let me do it. You know what the scary bit about this one is? Let me tell you now. So, like, he offered me that. And the first one that I was going to cover of The Everyday Hustle was, I think it was the 8th of January. Okay. So we had a wedding. My missus had a wedding. Her cousin was getting married in India. But I was also presenting with BBC Morning Live. So I said to my in-laws, I said to the missus, look, I can't say no to this commitment of BBC Morning Live because I'm the Traitors correspondent. They want me to talk about traitors.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll do my first piece. I'll come to India, do the wedding, and then I'll have to come back and do my first appearance for Everyday Hustle. And they said, yeah, no problem. So I did the BBC Morning Live in the morning, obviously, headed to Birmingham to jump on that plane. The plane is cancelled. So I'm thinking to myself, now what do? They arranged it for the following afternoon.
Okay.
So 2 p.m. this flight. I'm in the air in India right? We got onto that rearranged flight after a hotel and a load of malarkey, and they made an announcement on the plane, and they said, we are no longer landing in our destination due to fog. We are now going to be landing in Jaipur or wherever it was.
Oh my God.
And in my head, I'm thinking, this wedding, how am I even going to get there? Got to the wedding, missed every single bit of the wedding, apart from about an hour, 2 hours of the reception. Yeah. Got there eventually somehow. And I said, I'm going to have to now go back because I've got the everyday hustle. They said, yeah, just you have to head back. Headed back to the airport. And then it was Air India that said to me again, your flight has now also been cancelled. So I'm thinking to myself,
you can't make this up.
Going, and it was cancelled coming back. They said, yeah, in a nutshell, I said, well, what other flights are there available? And they said, there aren't any going back to Birmingham. I said, well, I have to be in Birmingham tomorrow to commit to this
huge deal,
huge thing, you know. And they said to me, yeah, sorry. And they said, the only thing that we've got, so I'm in the queue and everyone's kicking off. Just imagine Amritsar Airport, everyone's kicking off. We're about to get onto the flight through security and everything. And then they're getting told to us right there and then at the last minute, there's no flight. WhatsApp is out. I'm about to text the boss man of BBC Asia Network, and I'm about to say to him, I am so sorry, and I do not want to do this, but I'm going to have to let you down to say that I can't commit to the everyday hustle tomorrow. There are just no flights, and it's beyond my control. You know what I did, Sonny? I typed it all out. It was a ready to send. I didn't hit send, locked my phone, banged it in the pocket, went back out there, and I says, is there any other flights going to the UK? They said, all of our flights have been cancelled today. There's only one that's scheduled, but that's probably also going to be cancelled to go into Gatwick, not Birmingham. I says, put me on that. Everyone looked at me and went, are you stupid? Like, that's going to get cancelled. And then you're going to be back to square one and we'll be gone by then. In a nutshell, I got onto that Gatwick flight. Somehow my suitcase ended up in Gatwick. Somehow I ended up in Gatwick. I grabbed my suitcase, went to a hotel, went to my car in the snow, dragging that suitcase from India with zero sleep, got into my car, through the parking barriers. They said, oh, it's another £200 because you've overstayed your limit. Of course. Ding. Drove out, booked a last minute hotel, had 2 hours sleep at this random hotel, walked into the studio for the everyday hustle. They didn't have a clue what was going on.
Just that you stunk of India.
I just stunk of India. Got there, did the everyday hustle, and afterwards they were like, oh, Jaz, that was amazing. You've clearly done this before, haven't you? I said, you don't even know the half of it, of what's just happened. So in a nutshell, I was hustling, getting to the everyday hustle.
That's the everyday hustle. Man, that no one ever does. Oh my God.
Sorry,
Jaz.
that was so long-winded.
No, but that is just a testament to what I started the podcast off with. We were talking about before the show, or maybe we had said it on the show, that my favorite thing about people is taking opportunities and running with them. That's what you did, man. You could have easily sent that text and gone, I can't do it. That, to be honest with you, it would have been fair as well.
Yeah.
They're saying it's cancelled. Big man, boss man, I'm sorry. Here you go. Check the flights yourself. They're all cancelled. Nothing I can do.
Yeah.
But you're like, nah, man, I gotta go. And you did a good show. Jaz, absolute legend, mate. I'll be honest with you. And who knows whose life you changed on that show?
Wow.
Think about that. Wow. You went through that hardship, not just to keep your commitment, but man, people rely on that show. I used to. I'm going to be honest with you. Before I had this podcast, before anything, my days were the Sonia Barlow days, I remember. Yeah. It was on a Wednesday, I believe it was, and I used to listen to it in the morning. And man, I used to love that show. Like, how are other people doing it? What are they doing? The questions they would ask. Who knows, Jaz? Wow. Who knows? Put it in the comments, people. Did Jaz that day help you? Who knows? Do you know what I mean? Wow. His first episode. Jaz, it has been not just a pleasure, but it has been an absolute honor to have you on the show and just tell me everything about how it was. And man, it has been absolutely exceptional. And thank you so much for coming on the show, bro.
So honestly, I feel like I've known you for ages. Genuinely, it's been wicked. Thank you, sir.
No worries, man. And where can we find you?
Just on the socials, man.
Socials, yeah. Can you just give me your socials one more time?
100%. It's Jaz Singh official now. Which was actually quite funny because it was my mate that said, you need to change it to official now. You need to change it. I'm like, you're joking. It's Jaz Singh 10. He goes, no. Change it to official. No one's probably got it yet. I was like, right, got it. Let's do it.
That's it. It's time to be done now. I did the other way around. I put Sonny Paul official.
Yeah.
And I had no followers. I was like, that's me. Before anybody else does it. Hopeful thing, manifesting it, man.
Manifesting.
There you go. Manifest. Yes, bro. That's where we finished. Jaz, absolute pleasure, my brother. Take it easy, yeah?
Cheers.